welcome to another Rambling review from Adventures in TV Land. For this Rambling review, I'm going to talk about the latest Pixar movie, Hoppers. Now, when I saw the trailer for it, I thought it looked like the most ridiculous movie I'd ever seen. At least it was like, what in the world is this? It looked like a completely watered down version of Avatar. Not that I am a fan of the Avatar films anyway, but I think Ferngully, the Last Rainforest, does things much better than Avatar did. But anyway, Hoppers. The general concept is you have the main character. Her name is Mabel. She loves the environment. She's all about saving the environment and animals. She loves animals and nature, and she ends up becoming an activist, and she ends up coming into conflict with the mayor of her city, Beaverton, and his name is Jerry. And Jerry is trying to build this bypass around the city so that you can cut your commute time to a maximum of 4 minutes or whatever. But in order to do so, it has to go through this glade where Mabel it was a very special place for her and her grandmother, and where it was her quiet place where she was able to refocus. And so there's this conflict that happens. Mabel is in school at university, and Mabel finds out from her professor at school that if they're able to bring a beaver back to the glade, all the other animals will come back and Jerry will not be able to build his bypass. And so Mabel tries to get a beaver to come back to the glade. And while she's there one day doing this, she finds one, but it doesn't act like a normal beaver. And then she ends up discovering it's part of this experiment being done at the university where they taking their conscious and putting in these robotic animals to observe nature and what's going on. So Mabel jumps in, steals the robotic beaver, and runs off and finds a beaver community, and she tries to save the glade. However, in doing so, she ends up causing all the other animal species to decide they want to kill the human king, the mayor, Jerry, to squish him. That's not what she wanted at all. She just wanted to stop Jerry from building his bypass. And so then she comes in conflict with all the other creatures. Now, along the way, Mabel becomes very good friends with the beaver king. His name is George. George is a very good king. He is actually the king of all the mammals in this area. And George believes there's good in everyone, regardless. And even though life is tough in certain things, if you have to eat, you eat. So other animals get eaten sometimes. There is good, and animals can work together, and animals, including people, and they can all work to do the good thing. Mabel at first is in disagreement with him. They become very good friends. As I said before, I thought the trailers for Hoppers made it look like the most ridiculous film possible, that it was not going to be very good at all. After having seen the film, the movie is it's much better than I thought it was. And it's not like there are some things going out there. It's not a movie to indoctrinate your kids or anything like that. There might have been things in there before, but not now. The movie just has a very strong pro-environment message. I was a Boy Scout. I'm an Eagle Scout. I grew up, I'm a strict conservationist, not an environmentalist. There is a very strong conservationist element to this, even though it's an environmental message. It's a little bit too extreme for me. There was a lot of things I related to in the film. The film also, it deals with a lot of deep issues. This film, unlike the other movies, it doesn't do a very good balance between trying to have the humor and the more serious things. There are some times it does, but there are other times it does not. It's just it makes no sense. It's ridiculous. For instance, if you don't want to know any spoilers, stop listening. Spoiler alert, spoiler alert, spoiler alert. There's a moment in the movie where Mabel kills the queen of the insects. She smushes her and, tries to get away, and is wiping her hands of the bug guts, or her paws of the bug guts on the wall of this beaver den. That was kind of funny, but it's also, when you think about it, she killed a mother of somebody and all this stuff. There's another instance in the movie where there's this robot's face gets ripped off. For little kids, it might be quite scary, but it seems a little out of place at certain moments. There's this thing with a shark. It's kind of funny, but it's really over the top. Of course, it doesn't make any sense at all, even within the world of this that's been created here. It's so bizarre, that's the best word I can think of, bizarre. The film does deal with some deep issues, especially the loss of a family member, someone a close family member you're close to, how you deal with that, but it doesn't do it the best way possible. So the film is very haphazard in that regard. The comedy doesn't gel with the seriousness. I personally enjoyed Hoppers. It might be, I can't because movies, it can be expensive to go to the films. I went with some family members. The child I was with, she kind of liked it, but then after the movie, the next day said she didn't really like the movie overall. It is something, I would watch myself again or have on the background, just because it is kind of so bizarre and weird and unusual. It's definitely like it's like a kid's movie that was made for kids, but the people making it don't really understand children. That's the best way I can describe it. If you are a person who likes nature, animals, likes animated films, likes kids films, you'll probably enjoy the film. Your kids may or may not. This has been another rambling review from Adventures in TV Land. Until next time, that's a wrap.